If you are serious about buying a home in 2024, then you have to watch this video. With all the lawsuits happening that involves the National Association of Realtors, so many changes are happening in the industry, and it involves buyers agents' commissions and how buyers agents get paid. For years, buyers agents have told their clients that their representation is free. I'm guilty of it. It's something that I've definitely told all my buyers in the past, and it's something that you will never hear buyers agents say again. And I will go over just why that is in a little bit. But if there's anything that you take away from this video, the purpose of it is really to encourage you to interview your buyers agents and spend a lot of time talking about how they're gonna get paid and what their commission policy is. So grab a coffee, your favorite matcha, or just some water to hydrate yourself, because this one's gonna be a long one. If you don't know already, my name is Gabby Magsino. I'm a real estate broker in New Jersey, and I make videos about the buying and selling process with a goal to empower you to make sure that you are armed with all the information that you need in order to have a successful buying and selling experience in New Jersey. If that's something that you're interested in learning more about, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button, click the thumbs up, and ring the notification bell. And with that, let's get to it. In my last video, I went over just how much it costs to buy a house, but I did not include buyer's agent's commission. And the reason why I didn't do that is because it's just so complicated, and there's so many new changes happening in the industry that I figured it deserves its own video. And the thing is, once I post this video, there's still so many new things that can happen. I believe that it's important to kind of just update you on what's going on as of right now, as of today, based on what we know and how it will affect you buying a home moving forward. So as a result of the big class action lawsuit that is the Sitzer and Burnett case, there's 4 new changes that's going to be happening in the middle of this year. From what we know, it should be rolling out by August 17th. I don't want to talk too much about the lawsuit itself, just because I am not an expert in it and I don't want to give any information that are incorrect. All I know is that there are 4 new changes that are happening as a result of this case. One is that a buyer's agreement must be signed between a buyer and a buyer's agent before showing a house. 2, buyer's broker's commission are no longer going to be listed on the MLS. 3, sellers can still offer sellers concessions or credit to the buyers in the MLS, and that concession can be used to pay the buyer's agent should the buyer choose. And 4, and lastly, which is I guess the most important thing, is we must disclose in all listing agreements, buyer's brokers agreements, and pre-closing disclosures that broker commissions are not set by law and are fully negotiable. So with that being said, what does this mean all to you, and how is this going to affect your buying experience moving forward in 2024? Before I move on, I do want to remind you that what I know is what's going on in New Jersey, even though this is a national change that's supposed to be happening. So everything I'm talking about is based on my experience and what I've seen so far is going on in my local market. So this means that if you're buying in New Jersey, and most likely all over the country, in order to see a home, you must sign a buyer's agreement with your buyer's broker. In New Jersey, the agreement that we're using is an exclusive buyer's agent agreement. There will be a checkbox on there that asks you if you're currently working with another broker. And in order to move forward with seeing a home, you have to check that you are not currently working with another broker, at least in that time frame that you put in that buyer's agreement. It does allow you to add a time frame, so some agents can put that you're only working with them for that one day to see that one property, or you can write however long you feel you're comfortable working with that agent exclusively. And that goes back to exactly what I was talking about in the beginning of this video. Because you are now required to sign an exclusive buyer's agreement with a buyer's broker before seeing homes, now more than ever is it important for you to interview them. And to be honest, if this is an agent who is really well versed in what's going on in the industry, then they would suggest an initial consultation prior to showing you homes. And during this initial consultation, that is when you can ask them questions, including how long have they been in the business, what is their track record when it comes to working with buyers, what is their list to sold price ratio when it comes to working with their buyers, do they know the local area very well, do they live there, how well do they know the neighborhood, how far are they willing to go if you are looking for someone who can span different towns in order to get the home that you love, and what will they do to make sure that you're actually able to get the home that you are looking for, and how are they going to make sure that they get you the best deal possible for this home. In all my years of being a real estate agent, to be honest with you, I probably have only been interviewed once or twice as a buyer's agent. It's really crazy to me how it is when working with buyers versus working with sellers, because if you are going to list your house, most sellers will interview to see who is the best and right broker for them to work with. But when it comes to buying, for some good reason, it actually blows my mind that the typical practice of working with a buyer really is they call you and tell you that they're looking to buy a house. If you are a great agent, you're gonna introduce them to a lender so that they can get pre-approved for a mortgage. And then once they're pre-approved for a mortgage, you start showing them homes. And that's about it. No explanation of how the buyer's agents get paid. It's really interesting. So anyways, moving forward, that's about to change. In addition, and most importantly, in this buyer's agreement, you are going to have a discussion with your buyer's agent how they're going to get paid. So whether that's 3%, 2.5%, 2%, whatever it is, whatever their commission policy is, there will be a clear number that you have to pay for in order to be represented by this agent. For the most part, this will most likely be a percentage, but it could possibly be a flat fee. You know, we don't know how it's going to end up, and that's going to be up to the agent or their brokerage, whatever commission policy they have. But again, it is your job to negotiate this for yourself. In my area, for the most part, sellers are still cooperating with buyers' brokers. This means that the sellers are willing to pay the fee of the buyer's agent. As of today in Bridgewater, New Jersey, there's about 63 listings on the market, and I looked through all of them, and 100% of them are still paying out a commission to the buyer's broker. Now, if a seller is not offering a fee, there are still other options for you. You can raise the price and a portion of it will go to the buyer's agent. You just have to let the sellers know that what they're gonna get is net after their buyer's broker gets paid, or you can also pay them directly. Either way, your buyer's agent is going to get paid. What this agreement is gonna do is it's going to have a clear and transparent conversation about what is the buyer's broker's commission agreement between you and your buyer's agent. The same way listing agents have an agreement between their sellers. So yes, the short answer is you do have to still pay for your buyer's agent when buying a home, but it could still be negotiated that the sellers are the one who's going to pay the amount that you had agreed your buyer's broker will receive truthfully, since for the most part, sellers are still cooperating with buyer's agents. Nothing really has changed. I'm sure there will be a lot of changes as we move forward with this new rules that are going to happen. But for right now, I would focus on the goal of buying your first home and not worry too much about all the headlines that are going on, because other than most of our trainings revolving around these new rules as a result of this lawsuit, and we are placing importance in making sure that we get all of our buyers to sign buyers exclusive agreements. As far as buyers paying commissions, I haven't really seen it. Sellers still believe that cooperating with buyer's brokers or paying out a buyer's agent if they bring a buyer to them to buy the house is still a benefit to them. And if sellers don't pay out a buyer's agent or decide that they don't want to cooperate with buyer's brokers, it lessens the amount of buyers who would be able to afford their property, which in turn would get them less offers, if any. I do believe that the changes that are happening in the industry is necessary. Buyer's agents are going to be able to demonstrate their value to you more than ever before. So it's going to weed out all the agents that are not going to be able to do that for themselves. What this means for you as a buyer is that you will have a better understanding of how your buyer's agent will get paid, and you will also have the opportunity to now vet your buyer's brokers and not just go with whoever is there because it's free to you. So why not use whoever is there, you know? But then again, it is still your responsibility to interview your buyer's agents and negotiate the commission the same way sellers do whenever they list their homes. And with that, I hope I was able to explain to you how buyer's agents actually gets paid. And if any new changes come up, I will try my best to update you the best that I can so that you know exactly how to navigate the buying process and you are better armed with more knowledge to buy a home in New Jersey. And you tell me, what do you think of all of this? I know some buyers are getting a little bit freaked out because of all the news and headlines that are misleading about buyers agents no longer getting paid and buyers having to pay them, which is true, but like I said, it could still be negotiated in the deal. Let me know your thoughts about this. Do you think this is a good thing? It's a bad thing? Are you a little bit more nervous about buying a home? Or do you think this is actually a positive thing? Because now you're able to actually get to know your agent and interview them and ask them how they're going to help you navigate this whole process. You're also going to be able to negotiate your own fee instead of just blindly kind of just going with the flow with your buyer's agent and seeing homes as you see fit. I'm so curious what you guys think. So yeah. And if you guys have any questions from me, you can also comment down below. Like always, I'm going to add a few more resources in the description. With that, see you guys in the next one. Bye.